Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is DVD Collector 1986 here with a new video. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the movies that me and my friend Laurie got to watch. This is for the third day of October, and we actually got to watch three movies today. So, first up, true classic, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven. And this is the one that started it all as far as the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Um, I really, really like this movie. This is my favorite Nightmare movie out of the whole franchise. Um, Two, I like quite a bit. There's a lot of people that hate part two, but part two is not so bad. And the third one is really, really good. But after three, they kind of start to go downhill. But we watched this one today, and it was better than I remember it being. I don't know if that's nostalgia or what exactly, but I really, really enjoyed watching this film. I hadn't watched it in quite a while, several years, and I really love the atmosphere, the spooky boiler room, uh, the music score, just everything about the movie. It has a very eerie vibe to it, the whole movie. And in case y'all didn't know, the opening scene of the movie Terrifier, the movie about Art the Clown. If you've seen that, the opening sequence of Terrifier is a direct homage to the opening sequence in the first Nightmare on Elm Street. When Art is preparing his bag of tools to go out for that night, that's an homage to what uh, Robert Englund or Freddy Krueger was doing when he was making his glove. There's a lot of similarities between the two scenes. In case you didn't know that, that's something that I heard about online somewhere. Um, or no, I actually heard that in the commentary on the movie Terrifier. So I thought that was an interesting connection between those two films. Um, Wes Craven, as we all know, he's gone now. One of the greats. He's gone. Toby Hooper is gone, and so is who is that? The other one? Oh yeah, how could I forget? George Romero. So the three of them are gone. So as far as I'm concerned, there were four really good horror directors back in the day for the movies that I like and the movies I grew up watching. There was George Romero, um, Toby Hooper, Wes Craven, and John Carpenter. And out of those men, unfortunately, John Carpenter is the only one left. And by unfortunate, I mean it's sad that they are dying off. And John Carpenter is 70. So enjoy his work, the new stuff that he comes out with, because once he's gone, he's gone. But at least these directors leave us with their movies, so we can still go back and watch them and enjoy them. But Nightmare on Elm Street is excellent. It has some really great characters, and Heather Langenkamp does an excellent job as the final girl. I really enjoyed her character. I thought she was really believable in the role, and Johnny Depp has a part in this. It was actually his first film, I believe. It's hard to believe that that's Johnny Depp in there, but it is. and John Saxon is in it. And as far as the big actors in the movie, I think that's about it. But this movie's excellent. It came out in 1984, and if you haven't seen it yet, please go watch it. It's worth it. It's really worth it. And if you can't get the Blu-ray set, you can get the DVD set with all the original Nightmare movies up to New Nightmare for like $20 on eBay. And I have the Blu-ray set and the DVD set. I still like this DVD set quite a bit, but it's a fun movie, and it's really dreamy. I know that sounds like a play on words because the movie deals with dream sequences, but I mean dreamy as in you almost get sucked into the movie as you watch it because it's weird. You'll be watching it, and you, even as the viewer, just like the characters, as the viewer, you start to wonder: is this a dream sequence, or is this are they awake in the movie? So you lose track of when they're awake and when they're actually asleep, when they're dreaming and when they're not dreaming, because of the way the movie's edited. And just a really great early '80s horror film, one of the best. Um, that being said, no, Freddy is not my all-time favorite uh, horror icon. That goes to Michael Myers, and then there's Jason Voorhees, and some people say the big four, but I say the big three because for me it's Michael Myers, Jason, and Freddy Krueger. So, and of course, you got some new modern ones in there, like Victor Crowley in the Hatchet films. But still, though, even though Freddy Krueger is not my favorite, I really do enjoy this movie. And if you're a horror fan, I highly recommend it. So we watched that first. And then the next movie that we watched, speaking of Hatchet, was Hatchet 2. Now you might ask, why did we watch this one and not the first one? Well, we watched this one because this is the first one that has Danielle Harris in it. And if you're a fan of this franchise, like I am, and like my friend Laurie, I think we can all be honest with ourselves and we can admit that uh, Adam Green made a mistake not casting Danielle Harris in the first film as the character Mary Beth. Uh, she played that character in the. There's actually 4 Hatchet films. She played that character in all of the other 3 films, just not the first one. So that's why we decided to watch part 2 instead of part 1. Part one's still good, but it would have been even better if it had Danielle Harris in it because then there would have been some really cool continuity because she would have been in all of them. But part two is a really good, solid sequel to the first one. It picks up precisely where the first one left off, just like the original Halloween 2. Um, it does the same thing, almost the exact moment that the first one left off. That's where this one picks up. And you've got, like I said, Daniel Harris. You've got Tom Holland in there. You've got Kane Hodder playing the main villain, Victor Crowley. You've got, I forget his name right now, but the actor who played the big guy, Trent, he played Leatherface in one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I don't remember which one. I don't want to say the wrong one and then get attacked in the comments. But that guy did play Leatherface in one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. You've got Tony Todd in the movie playing a really cool character named Reverend Zombie. Although he's kind of a jerk, it's a neat character for him to play. You've got Adam Green the director. He actually has a cameo, very small appearance towards the beginning of the film. You've got Tom Holland in there, who is the original maker of the Child's Play movies, the originals, and also the original Fright Night films. And let's see. I think that's about it as far as the big names of the people involved in that movie. But again, a very fun sequel. I guess you could call it a Southern fried horror type of film because it's in the South, it's in the swamps of Louisiana. And this is one of those movies that you see that Kane Hodder has some really good acting chops. He's usually behind a mask. You usually never see his face in any of the movies he does until a few years ago. He's been in a few. But this movie is an example of how good an actor that Kane Hodder actually is. So he plays the main villain, like I said, and he also plays the father of the villain in certain flashback sequences. So it's pretty neat to see him without makeup and actually doing an actual, acting dramatic part. Oh, one other person's in the movie I just now thought of. Towards the beginning, John Carl Buechler, who has now passed away, God rest his soul. He plays a sort of fisherman hobo type character. And if you don't know who John Carl Buechler is, he is the director of Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. So the Hatchet films, all of them, in fact, because they were directed by Adam Green, well, a couple of them weren't directed by him, but I know for sure the first two were. Pretty sure the first two were. But he loves 80s horror. So these Hatchet films are like a love letter to the 1980s horror films that we all know and love. So Hatchet 2 is a great movie. Check it out. Definitely worth a watch for October. And so that leads us into the third and final film that we watched today, which was Species, starring Natasha Henstridge. This is a sci-fi horror sort of creature feature film that came out in 1995, so it's 24 years old. Ben Kingsley is in it, Forrest Whitaker, Michael Madsen. He's in this as well. Those are the main players in this film. And it's basically about a half human, half alien creature that tries to breed with humans to continue her species, and her alien species is trying to take over the world. It's one of those aliens are trying to take over the world type of films. Very, very entertaining movie. There were some scenes towards the end when they're in a sewer that reminded me a lot of the movie Aliens, when they're going through the hive at the colony and trying to rescue and look for colonists. And that scene at the end of this movie reminded me a lot of that sequence in Aliens. It's not really straight up horror, it's more like a sci-fi type flick. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.